everyone. Welcome to another episode of Rise Together. Pretty excited about today because we're going to have a conversation with an associate in the store right now that's right in the trenches. We're going to jump over to Katrina. Hello, how are you today?
Hello, I'm doing well. How are you?
We're doing really good. I'm so glad you had the opportunity. Tell us a little bit about yourself, how you got to Walmart, and where you're at. You're in Oregon. So for those of us in the Midwest, you're going to have to tell us a little bit about Oregon.
The town that I currently live in, was born and raised. Hermiston, we're known for our watermelons. So you've never had a watermelon until you had a Hermiston watermelon, just saying. But I grew up when there was no Walmart. And so I got to see that transformation to go from just a regular Walmart to a super center. I remember the plastic being in the middle when it created that super center. That was really interesting to see.
Sure. That is something I definitely want to hear more about. Because I am aware of that. I think some of our associates are aware, remember the transition. But I grew up going to Walmart. I grew up here in the Midwest, the home of Sam Walton. As far as I live in Oklahoma, he was born in Kingfisher and, all around this area, Oklahoma. So I've always known Walmart my entire existence. So you're saying that there wasn't a Walmart at all, or it was just not a super center?
No, there was just dirt. There was dirt.
Okay.
And so it's really interesting to see the story behind it. And actually in high school, I went, and on my career day, I went to the Walmart DC, and I got to learn the Walmart cheer there. And it's kind of gone full circle because now almost a year ago, next month, I'll be with Walmart for a year. I was brought in as a temporary part-time cashier, and I was okay with that, because
Sure.
I got to learn what people are struggling with and how I was able to connect with those. I went from a temporary part-time to a permanent part-time, to a sales associate, to a full-time sales associate. And next week, I start a temporary department manager role. So I get to help people who are on vacation and just wherever they need me into the department manager role. And it's like, I'm glad on the path that I've gone so I can assist on what I've seen as a sales associate to what can help further their advancement or what their struggles are.
Absolutely. So you went to a DC, a local distribution center, on your career day and heard the cheer. Fast forward, and now you work at Walmart, you're full-time, and what's the future goals now?
This ultimately would be great for a store manager. You have your long-term goals, but it's like, I want to be able to have something that's achievable. So right now, I just want to go into department manager and build up everybody to get to where they want to go, whether it's just staying and doing well on their current role, or moving up in different areas of the store, or letting others know, well, just because you're in that role, don't feel like you're stuck. There's so many opportunities throughout Walmart that your possibilities are endless.
And so is your experience that people don't know about the other opportunities?
When you get to engage with others, you see the makeup artist and everything like that, and getting them to know. So in a way, yes, we have the store, but we get to learn the actual people and where they're creative. Let's get them into that role that they're going to succeed, and just shine.
Yeah, getting to know people's skill sets and seeing where they can move into different positions. And a lot of people only think about our local store as a jobs too. But Walmart is, as you know, the largest retailer, and there are lots of positions all across the company in different ways. Like you said, we started out this conversation with the distribution center. Now we're talking about the store, but there's even, our drivers. And when we go beyond that, you start talking about lawyers, and you talk about, there's like a weather guy at the Walmart home office, like those kind of things. There are lots of different jobs out there. So when we started talking, you and I via LinkedIn, you were sharing with me a notebook that you started keeping. You sent me a picture of your notebook. Talk us through that. What was that notebook? Why did you start keeping that notebook?
So the reason why I started that notebook is because I don't want to forget what I went through. I want to be able to share that, whether it's through my own stories. I don't expect anyone to read it, but at the same
Sure.
time, it's how many new associates go through and they're like, oh man, I have to wait, and get my discount card. But there are so many other discounts. You have your VIP outlet, you have your associate discount center, you save money, live better. Well, let's start with our associates and help them. That might be another meal for their family because they're able to save on a cell phone bill. I want to help others.
That is our desire, to save money, to help people live better. And like you just said, we do this a lot with associates, and that story doesn't seem to get out very far sometimes when we're talking about all the different discounts or benefits, if you will, for the associates. So I'm glad that you brought out the discount center, the discount card that you get at 90 days. So we have resources for living, which I think is incredible. 24 hours, 7 days a week hotline that you can call for help when you need it. Of course, there are new ones all the time. The Guild Education. You can get your bachelor's degree for $1 a day. Not nearly enough associates are taking advantage of that. I had heard there's Rosetta Stone, and there's all kinds of other benefits you can find on the discount center. So glad that you brought that to light. You're exactly right. A lot of associates don't know that these are things that are out there for you right now. Have you had the same manager, store manager, and management the whole time? Have you seen different leadership styles within managers?
There's a lot of management styles, especially at the front end. We have to adapt. It doesn't matter who we're working for. It's like the only thing is constant is change. If we don't give it all, or if we accept doubt and we say it's not going to work, then no, it's not going to work. But if we're enthused, then everybody else will see that enthusiasm. Just like if we find joy within our work, then everybody else is going to see that joy, whether it's other associates or even customers, because they see that we're happy to be working there, able to solve those questions and have fun.
Absolutely. I mean, that's a theme that I continue to have in many different conversations that I'm having and that we do here on the show quite a bit. I talk about positivity a lot, and that's the one thing that you have a choice on. You have a choice on how you want to respond to the situations that we find ourselves in. We can't always choose the situation, but we can choose our attitude. So I love hearing you say, to be positive, to be encouraging to others, to look for those opportunities. That's huge, because you're right. Change is going to happen whether we want it or not, and how we deal with it is going to make a big difference, not only with our attitudes and the people around us, but even for our future, not just here, but anywhere. What are some things that you've learned now that you've been at Walmart that you just had no clue about before coming into Walmart? Anything stand out to you in that sense?
The environment. It's like I understood, yep, it's Walmart. Everybody says, yep, it's Walmart. You get into it, and the reason why I stayed is because of the people and how you get treated. If you don't have fun, then people are going to leave, and it's like I absolutely enjoy my job, but also in that aspect, we expect communication to come down the line on what's happening in Walmart, but we also have to be able to communicate to our managers, what our goals are. Lots of people that are wanting those attention, but we also have to go forth and be our own detective. I remember a co-manager, when I very first started, I told him what my goal was, and he introduced me to One Best Way. And that is what I lead just about everybody to, just because you're in this department, go to One Best Way and look at different departments, and see what else is out there, what you can learn. There's time difference, what you should be doing. And that helped so much. It's outstanding on, the information that's on the wire, but also, you learn so much through other people as well.
You're exactly right. I mean, obviously, as I'm on the academy side of things, so I actually train associates in the One Best Way. It's one of our major focuses, is to teach the process of how we do Walmart, if you will. And so many times we have associates come through and say, I had no clue that was actually in writing, or I had no clue that was actually that I could find it. on the wire. The wire has so many resources if we can really try to figure out how to navigate that and utilize it in our jobs. But One Best Way, obviously, it continues to be updated. If you're watching this today and you go, I remember life before One Best Way, that's great. But it was kind of, as you know, firsthand, if you're watching this show, depending on your store manager or your management team, you kind of had a good store or a bad store. The goal of One Best Way is to help us all find a great store and run great stores by utilizing that process over and over. So it's exciting that you had a management kind of show you that and tell you what you needed to look at and focus on. So, the question I ask everybody, and so I'm going to throw it to you, what does the spark mean to you?
The spark means to me is shining the light, whether it's on customers and giving them that positive feedback with Walmart or associates. Some people might need a little bit extra spark in their life, a little bit of a flash, be like, okay, get a little bit brightness out there. And it just takes one smile to create an effect of, well, I was having a bad day, but I can come into Walmart and leave with a smile, whether it's just somebody that you see regularly and you've gotten to know. They always have a smile and you can be cheered up that way. We have that opportunity to grow other associates to their career path on where they want to go. But we also have that opportunity to change the mindset of customers.
I mean, hey, so good. Because the smile really does go a long way. And so the reality for not just our associate, but for the customer, the smile can make the difference in their day, their experience in our jobs each day as we interact with each other. So I love that. Before the show, you and I were just talking real briefly about, Rise videos you've watched. And you were talking about Antonio's episode. And I really wanted you to come back to that because you had said some really great things and I wasn't recording. So we're going to throw that back out there to you. What stood out to you about the Antonio episode? Like, walk us through that again, what you really appreciated about that episode with Antonio.
The thing that I appreciated was he said, I don't have a radio voice, but I have a voice. And it just takes one moment. It's like you can change so much. You look at Josh from Walmart, look at what he's done. He's made that engagement where, people, they recognize him, they want to go and greet him, like, oh, I want to see him, and it's that enthusiasm right there, Just anybody can do that, but they have to have that enthusiasm.
But I think you're onto something, that sometimes we don't have the words, and sometimes we don't have the eloquence of some maybe our Walmart DJs or of some, buddy else in management, but we have the opportunity to smile. We have the opportunity to be positive in our interactions. And in doing that, you have a voice in doing those small things. And that's what you're bringing to the table. That's why you and I are having the conversation today, is because you took an opportunity and said, I have a voice. I want to share it with other people. I want to share my experiences. I want to share the things that I saw from my first 90 days, first year. And now as we continue on in Katrina's, whole process and her whole job, her Walmart story, it's going to be pretty exciting to keep up with you. So last minute words, anything we need to do. What's the store? We never even got the store. This is Oregon and where? What was the town again?
Oh, Hermiston, Oregon, 1817.
Hermiston, Oregon, 1817. So any last minute words for us?
Go out there and create those smiles.
Create the smile. I love it. All right. Well, thank you so much for your time. Hit the like button, share it with your friends. And most importantly, like what Katrina just said, share a smile with somebody else today. That is the goal and has been since the very beginning of Rise Together. And so we hope that you take our core values, you live them out. And as Sam even said, always put on that signature Walmart smile. And that's exactly what Katrina's asking of us. So have a great day, everyone.